the speakers now. I'm going to introduce, probably don't know, he's only getting into politics. His name is Gavin Councillor Gavin Pepper.
Come on, Gav! Come on, Gav! Come on, Gav!
Would say, this is Dublin! I hope that all are listening very loudly. We've had enough of vulture fights. We want them out. Where's capital? Pepper fighters. Get out of boy! We want Judge Nolan gone. He's the biggest scumbag in the judicial system, giving suspended sentences to paedophiles. Do you know how afraid they are in government at the moment? They're giving councillors 10 grand for security now. They're terrified of the Irish people. They're afraid of what we stand for. And that's for their people to stand up and fight back against them. We are not going to put up with it anymore. It's time to look after the Irish people. We've had enough of it. Immigration has our country destroyed. It's not about being a welcoming nation. It's about accepting the fact that Ireland is full. Now everybody in the door, we need to get them out. 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 Right. This is a message to a few people, and I hope they're listening very clearly. Mick Clifford, Barty McInerney, Mel Douglas, Dave Mooney. I hope you are all listening, because you will be held accountable for what you did. And so will your families. We will chase every penny that you are making from destroying our country. And that's all going to go back to the homeless Irish people that have been forgotten about. There's no such thing as the working class anymore. It's the working poor. And they're punching down on us left, right and centre. And when you speak up, they call your names. Are we going to listen to them names anymore? I give you this, right? And I'm going to change it to quote from Michael Collins, one of our fallen heroes. We've got something more powerful than the entire God, than the entire EU. And that's our refusal to let them take away our free speech. Our refusal to let them leave families in emergency accommodation and be forgotten about. Our refusal to be let Nicola Fox be in a British prison when she should be over here in Ireland. Who does Ireland belong to? Yes! I didn't hear you. Who does Ireland belong to? Yes! And people like Fair Power, who's standing up for Ava and Adama, people like Philip Dwyer, people like Val, loads of people that are standing up. They're not afraid anymore. There's none to be afraid anymore. So let's go take our country back. Off the earth.
Next speaker coming up to the stage now is the man who was elected to the council last year. Does some great work for the community. He's a two-time Olympian, Councillor Philip Sutcliffe.
What can I say that the others didn't say, right? First of all, I want to thank every mammy, mothers, fathers, children for coming in today to make this day special. Now, I cannot say more than what the rest of us say. Only stick together as a country, stick together as a family. And we're all a family together. If we stay strong together, we stay strong always. God bless.
Councillor Glen, you can come up to the stage.
For those who don't know me, my name is Glen, and I'm the Elected Council for Dublin. I stand before you today because it's genuinely frightening for the future of Ireland. I know many speakers here to rally, inspire, and speak great things of a hopeful future. I, on the other hand, want to tell the rest of Ireland that the poor Irish have fallen in times that are truly dreadful. Throughout my life, I have fallen in love with the ideal of democracies and republics, and the heroes in the West who defended them against evil ideologies. Both communism and fascism with their oppressive policies fell before those who believed in liberty. Individuals whose achievements brought freedom to people across the world, including our own Irish leaders, liberated us from from a monarchy to a republic. These people no longer exist. Their shoes are filled with lesser men, infected with the sickness of greed. Only hence their fixed days, and they will not instead of doing what they don't have to do. This brings us to the rising season, which begins to spread low that exists on the left and right wings of monarchies. Nationalism has soared across the world many times. They defended all of Europe from Ottoman invasions, toppled monarchies, dismantled the Soviet Union, and promoted ended British rule in Ireland. Though our numbers may be limited by now, our forefathers also shared our fight. They persisted and persevered despite no support from their own fellow countrymen. They even faced distrust and were even spat upon. They fought on, often alone, and their unwavering resolve led to victory. Their courage inspires us to persevere for a future that honours our heritage and protects our nation. Today, however, we face grave challenges that threaten this legacy. We live in a world infected with corruption and ignorance, blind to the values that give strength to the West. The people of the West, not just Irish, but those of the United Kingdom, France and beyond, are all in decline. It is a horrific truth. Our birth rate has fallen below replacement levels. We are burdened by massive debts we cannot pay back. And of course, mass immigration into Europe and Ireland is drastically changing our culture and landscape. Entire towns in Ireland, once wholly Irish, have been transformed overnight by the arrival of asylum seekers, planted under the cover of dark and secrecy without the consent of the people. We, the taxpayers, are expected to pay for them, which seems almost indefinite, until the end of days. When citizens resist and speak out because deep down they know something is seriously wrong, they are branded as far right. A term that has lost all meaning and further deepens our sense and concerns of being ignored. Our young people, the children who are meant to replace all of you when you return to the earth, are forced to leave the Emerald Isle in search of homes and families on distant shores. If continued, this will lead to the end of the people in the future. We have lost the heart of Dublin city centre, where we now represent 40% or less of the population, and our people fear to walk the streets, which have become a cesspool of crime and sinister behaviour. Strangers walk in streets. When the British left Ireland, we were left with the English language alone, and we no longer hear that anymore. Many of you in this crowd are asking, why is this happening to our people? Why are our own politicians complicit? And the truth is, we no longer live in a true democracy. I'm not denying that the Republic exists or we don't hold free elections, but as long as Ireland remains in the European Union, our people will never truly be free. Just as our forefathers were spat upon by those that wish to remain under the British crown, we face similar resistance from those who bow to a new foreign power in Brussels. The EU is nothing more than a modern crown where unelected bureaucrats dictate to Ireland's daily affairs. Our elected officials in the Oireachtas are often threatened with fines and sanctions if they resist EU mandates, forcing our nation to bend the knee to policies that do not serve our people's interests. The European Parliament is riddled with corruption, its chambers often empty, its president absent despite repeated calls to attend, and its voting process marred by broken machines and careless hand counting that invites fraud, often swaying outcomes towards far-left agendas. I dream of a day Ireland breaks free from this oppressive institution and votes to leave, joining all those who cherish liberty and dismantling a system that tramples the rights of Irish and the European people. I wish to end my speech with a single Irish word: Lucas. There is no direct translation for this word, but it holds a profound meaning in the Irish language. It is a connection to your birthright, heritage, and a sense of belonging. This is what you are fighting to preserve, because that feeling deep down in your bones, which stirs your unease, is what is threatened. We will endure this madness, and we will be victorious. Not tomorrow, perhaps, but someday in the future. God bless Ireland. And Ireland belongs to the Irish.
Now, before the rain comes, and before I introduce the last speaker, I can't say any more without first of all thanking everybody who donated to the GoFundMe that allowed us to have a setup like this today. It just shows when everybody works together, you can create days like today. Also anybody that bought a hat, all of that stuff went towards funding today. So thanks so much for that. There is an awful lot. There is an awful lot that goes into organising these kind of things, and when you see a sea of tricolours and a sea of people who care this much about their country, it's worth it, undoubtedly. So thanks to everybody for turning up. The guy who organised all of it is going to say a couple of words now before we head off for the day, so please make some noise and a round of applause for Councillor Malachi, Steenson. Firstly, there's very little that I can say that everybody else hasn't already said, so I want to reiterate everything that they said. I want to thank everyone for coming here today, and I particularly want to thank all of the speakers, the singers, including my wife, who sang great, all of the speakers, and all of those who contributed, whether it was €5 or €10, to the GoFundMe page to set up this sound system. I also want to remember a good friend of ours, and Michelle Cllr mentioned him in her opening remarks. Father Paddy Ryan, who passed away, was buried last week. The last time I met Paddy was he was sitting on a bench there at one of our rallies last year. The first time I met Paddy was sometime in the late 80s, somewhere in Europe, when we were both engaged on our country's business. I would ask you now to have a minute's silence in memory of Paddy Ryan. And if the clergy in this country had more priests like Paddy Ryan, we would not be in the position we are in today. So just have a moment's silence for the life and times of Paddy Ryan. Cut it short because the weather's changing. This is a hugely growing movement, and if you look at where we have progressed from East Wall in November 2022 to where we are today. In April we had 50,000 people on the streets. Today we have had more. Look at the reaction from the political class to the 26th of April. When they saw that sea of tricolours, when we took our flag back from those who seek to destroy it. In what country in the world would you have a so-called serious news journalist or whatever he wants to call himself, Sean Defoe on News Talk, say that if you fly the tricolour, you are a racist, you are a fascist. Those labels mean nothing to us. We saw the left 2 weeks ago trying to reclaim the tricolour. They've lost it. We have taken it back. But then, we never lost it. We saw a video yesterday from the provisionals. They couldn't even do their own video. They had to copy the great anti-Quirks video. And I don't think any of their mothers were wearing the flags. But they're down there in Bowdenstown at the grave of Wolf Tone. Wolf Tone's main concentration was the unity of Catholic, Protestant and Dissenter in the common name of Irishmen. But in order to achieve that, you have to break the connection with England. How is it that His Majesty's First Minister in the 6th County State can stand and speak at the grave of Wolf Tone, but it exposes them for what they are? Micheál Martin a number of months ago called us mongrels. Well, firstly, we're not mongrels, we're thoroughbreds. But let Micheál Martin be very clear. The mongrels and the thoroughbreds are fighting back. Just to go back to Defoe's comments on the tricolour. People remember when George Hoops worked for News Talk. And he said after a rape trial that young girls going out at night should be careful. He was sacked. Why is Defoe not sacked? The Flags Initiative has moved on, and in the inner city, people are erecting tricolours on street poles. That is the next part of this project, along with flying tricolours from your own home. I'm not even going to mention what passed for a counter protest up the road. Or their attempt to bring people onto the streets last week about housing. And they rabble on about housing. It's everybody's fault. It's the government's fault. It's the landlord's fault. It's the bank's fault. But they will never mention the fact of the huge increase in population is what is driving up the price of houses and the scarcity of housing. And that is what is driving up rents up and down this country. We are truly living in a dystopian world. One of the other speakers mentioned that the state now has decided that it owns your organs and your bodies. What happened? My body, my choice. Last week the British Parliament in Westminster voted to kill children up to the time of death or birth, and to kill our own people whenever they want. That's the type of world that is being created. People want to know where we go from here. And we have been engaged right throughout this country with talks on progressing this movement. We have taken part in the IFP's initiative to bring people closer together and to unify into some grouping. The working title that we run this rally under and that we're pursuing this project under is Grant a Herring. And I can think of no other title that reflects exactly what we have. Love of Ireland. That's all we need. We don't need a fancy title, because that's why we're here. Love of Ireland, love of family, love of our children, and love of our future. As one of the earlier speakers announced, the rally, the next major rally is in Waterford, I think on the weekend of the 26th of July. The one after that is in Galway on the weekend of the August bank holiday. I think it's the 2nd of August. Everybody should do their best to get to those two rallies. period, some of the most crucial issues facing us are housing, health, education. None of those issues can be resolved in any way unless we close the borders to bypass applications and also to any other work visa applications. This country simply cannot sustain any further increases in population.
Sorry, Matt.
I would ask people here, because some people are finding it difficult to contact us. At the moment, if you just go to one of the websites we have, malachi.ie, is probably the easiest one to find. Send a DM to that, which I email your details, and we will be in contact with you. I also wanted to thank, because none of this would get any publicity without our citizen journalists. Led principally by Philip Cllr, Stephen Delaney, and many others. I want to thank the international media who give us more coverage than the national media. I'm sure if this is even mentioned on RTE tonight, there'll be about 50 people here. And when the broadcast media talk about citizen journalists, and they say, oh, well, you haven't got a degree in journalism, you didn't go to Griffith College or whatever, or you don't work for us. The only requirement of a journalist is to tell the truth. And when they said about Philip that they want to stop citizen journalists spreading what they said was misinformation, Philip is live streaming here. He can't edit it. It's what you see is what you get. Right, I have to wrap it up now because the weather is half the corner. Go ahead, Mayor Malachi. Thank you for engaging us. I know it's starting to rush and we all want to get home, but if you just hang on for a minute, there's two things. One is there's a protest this evening at 6:30 in City West. We get in contact with the organisers if you want to head out there. But secondly, if we could all just hang on for just a minute for the national anthem before we head off. Tracy is going to come up and sing it. Thanks so much everybody for coming today.